All right, so I just got done seeing Final Destination Bloodlines, correct? And first things first, you would think that a franchise that's 27 years old, you would think that the producers, creators, the minds behind this series would have ran out of brutal and gruesome ways to red rum people. But I guess they haven't. Kind of like the Saw franchise, you think they would have ran out of creative ways to get people out of here too. Second thing is, this movie franchise has forever made me paranoid. Whether it's using a garbage disposal or, even just like my favorite one is driving behind a log truck. And even now, as I'm making this video, it is raining out here. There's a little bit of thunder and lightning, and I'm under a power line, for Christ's sake. I'm forever paranoid about, losing my life in one of the most obscure ways possible. And the third thing is that death is a petty son of a bitch. I mean, come on. How petty can the Grim Reaper be? Because it's not like the people that are in these, life-threatening situations that survive. It's not like they're like, ha ha, I got you. These people survive, and then the Grim Reaper gives them the Michael Jordan treatment. They survived, and I took that personally. But this movie begins in the mid-1960s in a Space Needle tower kind of setting where everybody's having this big party with all these, rich people and whatnot. And the main character is, I believe, in her late teens, early 20s at the time. And they survive this cataclysmic event where a whole bunch of people lose their lives. But yet she sees these visions and is able to save some of them. But the Grim Reaper ain't taking that line down. He's like, nah. This cataclysmic event was supposed to get all y'all out of here. Y'all wasn't supposed to survive. That's pretty much the premise of every Final Destination movie. And then fast forward 55 some odd years later, the granddaughter of the woman that survived is having these same visions of these people losing their lives in these horrific ways. And that's why death is just like, oh, no. You survived? Mm-mm. You just ain't got to get out of here. Your whole family does. Hence why the name of the movie is called Bloodlines. So yeah, her surviving one horrific event has cursed the whole family, which means now Death's petty ass wants to get these people out of here in the most obscure and ruthless and grisly ways possible. And some of these deaths are actually pretty funny. And then without diving too much into spoiler territory, the late Tony Todd, may he rest in peace, horror icon, makes his final cameo. And we figure out what his role is in these movies. His last cameo was a proper send-off. Like, his role as a mortician and him giving his experiences with cheating death for himself. But as far as my overall review of this movie, if you know what the Final Destination franchise is, you kind of have an idea of what you're in for. The shock horror, the excessive blood and gore, the grisly freak accidents, and a little bit of comedy thrown in here and there. But overall, I will give Final Destination Bloodlines a 7 out of 10. I believe that's a fair rating. But anyway, you guys let me know how you feel about it if you saw it.